Hello and welcome to a new tutorial. In this tutorial I will show you one way how we can make the animation created in Blender more interesting using AI image generators. I created this animation in Blender and recorded a 4-hour long tutorial. Each step is recorded and the tutorial is suitable even for beginners. Look for a tutorial in the description. This is the result after combining with AI images and overlays. If you want to follow this tutorial, render animation and links to the overlays I use are available in the description. For this tutorial I will use Primer Pro because it is a simple software for use, but since we will use only tools such as cutting, blending modes and some simple effects, you can get the same result with any other video editing software without much previous experience. This is folder I will share with you. We have here animation we got from Blender. So this is animation 1 with this man passing through this window, and this is animation with car lights. And I will share this two animation with you and this images folder. So here you can find all these passes from this two animation we got from Blender. So this is ambient occlusion, glossy direction, main and mist pass. And this is same for animation 2. If you want to learn how you can get these passes here, you can watch my tutorial. I will also share with you these 3 folders with image generated with AI we will use in this tutorial. So if you want the same images, you can just download this folder. But if you wonder how I get these images, I just go to StarryAI and I search something like forest dark. You can see that we get a lot of results here. You can click one you like. I search for something realistic here. For example, we can click on this result and here you get similar images, and you can just click download here, or if you have some screen capture program like I have this light shoot, you can just click print screen and you can just save these images on your computer. And that's basically what I do here. So I just go with print screen and I save some of these images and I get these 3 folders. In this tutorial I will also use these 3 overlays. So this is just black bars to get cinematic look, and these 2 overlays I download from internet, and I will share links with you. So you can find here link for first one, and so first one is I download from YouTube, and I think I found this on these 2 videos. So you can just download this spec from this link here or from this link here. And second one is from this Max Novak website. So you can just click here and you can download. Not just this one overlay, you can download a full pack of these similar overlays. But you don't need use specifically these 2 overlays. You can search on internet for anything similar. You can type glitchy effect or film grain overlay or VHS static overlay or something similar. I show you this StarryAI website where you can find a lot of generated images from before, but if you want more control, you can install your own image generator, and I use this Stable Diffusion. And if you want to know how I install this, you can visit this link, and then you get a lot more control and you can generate images you want. For example, you have option to generate image by another image, and this is nice option because you can get a similar result like this image here, and I will show you how. So I will select my render result, and most important option here is this CFG scale. So if you go more to left, you will get similar result like this one, and if you go more to right, you will put basically Stable Diffusion to be more creative. And I will go to about this, and I will set here 10 to get 10 different images, and you can just click generate, and this is result I get. It is not so similar, but I forget one option. You can change resolution here, and I will match this resolution, and I will back this CG scale on left. This is the result I get. I'm not so happy. I think this is because this image is too dark, and I need to play more with this option and this prompt. But this is not Stable Diffusion tutorial. Just to know for this option, if you want, you can search on YouTube, and maybe we will talk more about this in future. And let's start now with Primer Pro. Let's go with File, New Project. I will call this AI tutorial. And now I will just copy address to this folder, and so we can easily paste this here. And I will import these two renders I get from Blender. And if I press space, I get this, okay, I forget this one. So if I press space, I get this animation here. But because this animation is without sound, so you can see here we have video layer 1 and audio layer, but we don't have audio here, so I will just go with right click and unlink. So now we can delete this audio here, and now it's much cleaner. Now I will start with overlay, so I will move this little on right, and I will import this overlay 4, and I will place this here. So this again don't have audio, so I will unlink this and delete this audio track. And now I will cut this to about here, and let's press space to see how this looks. So first thing, I want to scale this a little, and you can see that we have here these black bars because I render this from Blender, and here we don't have this black bar, so I will import this scope PNG texture, and just be sure to keep this always on top. And you can see that now we have these bars here. If you want, you can scale this up or down, and now we have this animation. Okay, and I will just move this on left, and I will place this down. Next, I will import this first AI image pack, which is this trees. So if you click enable this image sequence, you will get image sequence from this, but for this you must be sure that you have now ordered this by numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you can get this image sequence. And I will call this AI 1 trees, and I will place this about here, and let's see what we get. I think this is too fast, so I will go with right click, and I will go with speed here, and I will decrease this maybe to 50%, so now is double slower. And I will scale this up, so select this here, and you can just increase scale to about here, and I don't want too strong colors here, so I will search in effects for lumetri color. So lumetri color is basic color correction tool in Primer Pro or After Effects, and I will search here for saturation, and I will bring this maybe only 20%, and now this is almost black and white here. Next, because this is a square image, I want to fill also this part, empty part here. I will move this up to get one layer more, and if you hold Alt on your keyboard and drag this up, you can just duplicate this layer here, and I will select this bottom layer and I will scale this up to cover all this area, and I will just here bring opacity for this bottom layer to about maybe 30% or 20%. And you can now play with this blending mode. I think I will use screen to ignore blacks and keep more white colors here. And let's try also with this one. And now if we press space, we get this effect. Let's now back to our folder and let's import first pass here. So I will go here to animation 1 and with ambient occlusion, so image sequence, and I will rename this to AO for ambient occlusion and animation 1. And I will put this here, and this is what we get. So we get only this ambient occlusion pass, and I will now keep this maybe only 1 or 2 seconds, and I will use this cut tool to cut this in few parts. So now we can basically just use different blending mode. For example, we can set this maybe to hue to make this just black and white. And let's try set this maybe to darken, and let's maybe delete this one, and let's see what we get here. Okay, I think this is too slow, so I will just make this much faster. So I will keep only 1 frame of this here, and I will delete this, and let's move this about here. Okay, and we get a much faster animation here and much more dynamic. Last time I used also this image of trees, which I also found on StarryAI, and let's now import this in Primer Pro. And I will bring this up so we can place this image here, and let's cut this to about here. Scale this up, and I will go again with lumetri color. No, first to effects and search here for lumetri color, and I will just bring contrast up to make this more visible. And let's cut this ambient occlusion pass again, and we can also play with this blending mode. So if you set to darken, you can see basically part of this tree's images, or we can go with lighten. and we get this effect, so we can maybe cut this here. Basically all this process is playing with these overlays and frames, so you can do what you think is interested, and you don't need to follow any of this step, but I will show you what I do last time. Let's now back to our project and let's import glossy direction path here. So again, image sequence, and I will call this GL animation 1, and this is how this glossy direction look. And we can again we can zoom this here, and we can just take few pieces of this. And I will for this use mostly screen blending mode. So if you set this to screen, we get this reflection here, and I want to make offset of this a little more, so you can play with this scale. And now I will set this one also to screen, and I will duplicate this with holding Alt. We can just move this and duplicate a few times. And we get this effect. Let's now go with AI folder 2. So image sequence, and I will show you, if you don't have ordered this by numbers, you can always select, for example, this, all these images, and you can import this here, and you can go with right click nest, and now you can just you have basically one sequence here, and you can speed up this maybe 40 times, so 4000%, and you get similar result. Okay, but I will go with image sequence now. So image sequence, because this is ordered by numbers, and I will get sequence from this, and I will call this AI2, and let's bring this to about here, and this is what we get, but I will scale this up, and I will duplicate this with Alt and scale this bottom part more to cover this area, and I will now play with blending modes here. Let's try with overlay, and let's bring opacity to this bottom one, and we can move this scope up to make one layer, and I will also bring this up, and we can duplicate this overlay we use at the beginning. So Alt, and let's bring this here, and I think I need to change blending mode because this is now dark, and I will go with maybe screen or difference. Or dissolve. Okay, let's try with this, and maybe we can bring opacity down. And I will also bring opacity from this layer to see this car a little more, and let's try with multiply here. Okay, and we get this effect, so I will cut this overlay to about here, and I will move this part here, and let's see how this look. Okay, and I will now change the blending mode for this part, maybe soft light. I think soft light look good, so we can bring this here, and let's see how this look. And let's now import from animation to glossy direction path. So animation 2, and let's go with glossy direction. So GL animation 2, and let's bring this to about here. So this is how this look, and let's do same we do before. So I will just make few cuts here. And now delete this rest part, and I will now set this to screen blending mode, and I will make some offset here. I want to get these blinks before we turn on lights on this car. So we turn lights here, and I want to get these blinks one moment before. So this is effect I get. I want to increase this effect, so I will go with Alt. Let's duplicate this a few times. And just bring this scope to all this animation, because we get this part here we don't want, so just move this all to end, and we can just scale little this. Let's now import these humans. So AI sequence 3, so AI humans, and now we can bring this to about here, and let's do same we do before. So I will scale this up, and I will go with hue saturation here. So effects and volumetric color, and I will just bring this saturation to 30%. And let's see how this look. So I will bring this overlay also down, and I will play with blending modes. So before I will also scale this bottom layer up to cover all this area, and let's bring opacity maybe to 20 or maybe 40. And let's now play with the blending mode here. Okay, let's try with this one, and let's just bring opacity a little down. I think this is a little too fast, so I will go with right click, speed, direction, and I will set this maybe to 60% to make this slower. Last overlay we didn't use for now is this VHS static overlay, so I will go here and I will import this VHS static noise, so we can bring this here. And one different with this overlays is with sound, and that's the reason I often use this, because we get this sound effect. So let's cut a few of these parts. Okay, this is too intense, so let's cut part here. And now delete the rest of this. And we can now start placing this over this composition. So I will set one on the start here. I will first scale this up, and we get this effect. So I will play with blending mode here. Okay, and let's add another one, maybe here. So scale this up and add again with blending mode. And we get this effect. I get a lot of colors here, so I will again go with effects and lumetri color. And I will desaturate this almost to 0. And we get this effect. And I think this is too intense, so I will just keep one piece of this. And let's put this part maybe here. Okay, still too intense, so just keep one piece of this. I will delete this part in the middle, and let's see how this looks. That's basically all. We can just add some music here, and I will show you which music I choose for this. This is music I will use for this video, and I found this on YouTube Studio. So if you have YouTube account, you can search here for a lot of free music, and so you can search for these titles. And I will now import this in Primer Pro, and let's place this here. Okay, I think I like this, so I will cut this first part and to about here. So let's now move this on left, and let's play with another audio file here. So this is how this looks. I will cut just one part of this, and let's place this to about here, so we can get this effect. Okay, and we can use here one effect which is called deep to black. So if you go to video transition, you can find this under dissolve, so deep to black, and we get this effect to this clip. We are almost done, and I just make one poster before, so I will find this poster here. Okay, this is poster I made, and I will just bring this here. So this is how this look, and I will again go with effects and deep to black. And let's set also this here, so we get this effect. Okay, this is too intense, so just bring this on left. And I think I am happy with the result, but I will also fade this music here, so we can just quickly do this. So one keyframe here and another on right, bring this volume all down, and now we get this effect. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you learned something new, and see you next time. Hello and welcome to a new tutorial. In this tutorial we will create this scene you are watching now in free program Blender step by step. We will talk about how and where to find best free car models online, and we will solve most of the problems you meet when downloading objects online. You will be able to download any model online and optimize it for easy use in Blender. After that, we will animate the car lights, add imperfections, trees, animate the leaves and other details. We will talk about the camera, how to animate it, add depth and field, bokeh and other settings. Finally, we will do post-processing. We will work with passes in Blender, effects and color grading. I will show you where to find free overlays and how to achieve a cinematic look. In the last tutorial we created these three scenes. If you haven't watched the previous tutorial, I recommended that you do, but it is not necessary. I will share with you the Blender file with the cabin, ground and the lighting we created last time, so we can immediately start creating the first scene.